So for now, let's move on to the United Kingdom, the country whose most beloved children's book is about a friendless child who thinks a bear with an eating disorder and a depressed donkey are talking to him. It has been almost a year since the UK voted to leave the EU, and the process of doing that began this Wednesday.
In accordance with the wishes of the British people, the United Kingdom is leaving the European Union. This is an historic moment from which there can be no turning back.
Wow, the electricity in that room is palpable. Even her phrasing is ominous, though. A historic moment from which there can be no turning back could just as easily apply to getting a Limp Bizkit tattoo or the moment after your cult drank their suicide potions. The UK has now initiated Article 50 of the EU treaty, triggering a 2-year negotiating process leading up to a withdrawal from the EU in March of 2019. So we're facing 24 months of promising to pull out, or as Sting calls it, a one-night stand. Now, it was initiated, this process, by hand-delivering a letter to the President of the European Council, which began, "Dear President Tusk," which really should be the start of a letter you write to a walrus president. But sadly, it was a break-up letter to an actual person named Donald Tusk, who seemed understandably devastated.
There is no reason to pretend that this is a happy day, neither in Brussels nor in London. And what can I add to this? We already miss you. Thank you and goodbye.
Oh, come on, Tusky, don't be sad. If it helps, you will get over Britain. And if you do ever find yourself missing it, here's what works for me. Just stare at this picture of an angry old woman in a racist T-shirt eating beads on toast in the rain, because that is what you are actually leaving behind. Although, to be fair, not everybody was gloomy about the news this week. Take Nigel Farage, former UKIP leader and current spokesmodel for Smug Dickhead Moisturiser, the moisturiser that gives you that smug dickhead glow. He was absolutely thrilled.
Today's the day for me, after 25 years of campaigning, that the impossible dream came true. I'm delighted.
Well, that is genuinely horrible, because, and you really should know this, every time one of Nigel Farage's dreams come true, somewhere in the world, an angel gets diarrhea. The truth here is, though, never mind leaving the EU, it is going to be really hard for the UK to keep itself together. This vote has divided the British public. The BBC even chose to illustrate this division among British citizens with a not entirely dignified visual aid.
So how does our jury feel about triggering Article 50? We gave them emoji paddles. Happy, unhappy, or worried and confused?
Please vote now.
4 happy, 3 worried, 1 unhappy. Our jury, and indeed Britain, is deeply divided on its reaction to the triggering of Article 50.
Now, I know that looks stupid, but honestly, British people are so emotionally repressed. Emojis are actually the best way to get a coherent sentiment out of us. It's pretty much that or baking competitions. Let this Victorian sponge cake say what I never can. I'm collapsing inside. And with that in mind, like many British people, I'm really struggling to find the words for how difficult and depressing the next 2 years are going to be. So if I might try in emoji form. Europe is feeling crying kitty cat at the moment, while Nigel Farage has a full throbbing eggplant. And I personally am hovering between crying face and handgun, because it seems our best case scenario is to just pray emoji that this does not turn into a flaming pile of shit.